And so that when they make mistakes, Mr. Speaker, they can be punished using the same laws that are used to punish those other betting companies. So, Mr. Speaker, I'm in full support. But my advice is we should regulate as much as possible the betting in this country. There should be a situation, although, Mr. Speaker, you know, most of the betting are done through phones. But there should have been a regulation that whoever, like the casinos that we have in this country, Mr. Speaker, you cannot enter those casinos unless you are above a certain age. That was a very good regulation, Mr. Speaker. But nowadays, people don't go to casinos. They have casinos on their phones. So how do we regulate the participants in this particular betting? Because nowadays, people participate, whether you are 12 years, as long as you have known how to use your father's or your mother's phone or your brother's phone. You can Google, you can do whatever you can do. Mr. Speaker, my mother is over 90 years old, going around 100. But she has a phone. I bought her a phone. I normally send her money and pesa, and also airtime. But she has grandchildren, who when I send her money, after 3 days she tells me, there's no money in my phone. Why, Mr. Speaker? Those grandchildren have accessed the phone. They have a PIN number. They do betting in that phone. You know, Mr. Speaker, how do we regulate so that the young men who are above or who are below either the age of 20 or 25 do not participate in betting? How? Because these TV stations, these radio stations, they just allow access by anybody, whether you are 12 years, whether you are 10 years, whether you're 25 years, they allow access. How do we regulate that? So that is a question for the member who moved this motion. Please go and do research, bring this thing as a bill so that we can save our generations. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity given to me to give my contributions on this important matter about betting in this country. Mr. Speaker, I will also wish to appreciate my good brother, Dr. Madenge, for a well-thought bill on how we can regulate and maybe bring some order on betting in this country, Mr. Speaker. We have had for a long time betting companies do their business in this country. And these betting companies for long have been regulated by well-structured laws that govern the way they interact. But the mushrooming of some small betting companies, courtesy of the FM stations we have in this country, has resulted to abuse and to some extent, Mr. Speaker,